right now. Let's go from one dramatic situation to another. Let's talk about Gayle King out here using gay slurs and things over here on TV. So apparently she was interviewing um Mateo Lane, who is an openly homosexual comedian. And I thought it was for his comedy special. I'm sure they probably mentioned it. I didn't watch the interview. I did see the clips floating online and I did cackle. So I would play it for y'all, but it's CBS. I don't know. Paramount, y'all be playing in my face. I don't want to get demonetized. So yeah, apparently she is a fan of Mateo. Mateo has been around for a long time. He just did I need to ask a friend of mine how was it. So while I told her the gays was out last night. So while half of New York City homosexuals was over at Madison Square Garden getting, doing the locomotion along with side Kylie Minogue, you had other gays who were not at that event. They were over at Radio City getting a laugh on with Mateo Lane. So apparently I thought it was going to be for that special, but apparently he has a cookbook out called Your Pasta Sucks. So during the interview, King quoted one of Lane's jokes and used a slur leading to varying, that's what they said. But I would say various because that's a plethora, a lot of reactions on social media. While interviewing Lane, King freely discussed his sexual preference. I hate when y'all say preference because it's not a preference. We don't prefer to suck dick. I'm sorry. I mean, we like doing it, but it's not like something we prefer to do. It's just in our genes. We just so happen to like someone of the same gender. I mean, as somebody who likes men, I ain't putting my mouth on nobody's hot box. Okay? But anyway, I just hate when people say sexual preference. It grinds my gears. But so yeah, they discussed it and they said she said you embrace being gay in your homosexuality. Well, why wouldn't he? She then asked, and I wonder where did this come from? The funniness that you were able to combine with cooking and your stand-up too. In response, Lane said he came from a large family where you have to have something funny to say or be opinionated, so you have to speak up. He then added that merging comedy with his culinary skills felt very natural for him. Now, afterwards, King recalled one of Lane's jokes, said, "Let's talk about the stand-up special. Can I just say one joke? I hope I don't get in trouble." The 70-year-old continued, "You do a riff about white women who have approached you and they said something about cooking. And you said, what in the faggotry are you talking about?" Oh, yeah. When her saying that, I just think she wanted to say the word faggot. And yeah, people went in on her for over that. So now I'm actually shocked that CBS didn't censor her saying that word, and it got through. They said it was removed in the show's subsequent airings and on social media. Well, I don't know what social media y'all looking at because when I saw it on the Twitter, I heard it. So despite King's use of this gay slur, Lane found on the music as he reacted with a laugh, exclaiming, "I love you, Gayle King." Now, I wonder if he said that because, okay, here you are, you finally made it. And this is the way some people will look at it. Oh, here's this homosexual who finally is making it after all the years of pounding the pavement, pounding the pavement, pounding the pavement, trying to make it into the mainstream. And now that Mateo is finally crossing over into that mainstream space, he's finally in he's in his element. That is like, oh, well, if this cisgendered woman says this to me, oh, she gets a pass. Whereas some people's like, oh, no. So some people do feel this way that I'm about to tell you. Some people, oh, no, I don't care who you are a cisgendered woman. You are not a homosexual. I mean, but then again, let other people tell it. She and Oprah are scissor sisters, correct? That's how some people still out here believing that y'all be up in here scissoring each other when the lights go down low. But in the context of like, Gayle has never officially come out and said she a lesbian. Let's play into the space of, she is a cisgender heterosexual woman. Some people feel like, I don't care who you are not a gay man. You don't have privy to say that. Is it no different than a white person? So can I see this one joke? And they drop the N-word. People would have a problem with that. So he's giving, but then you get those black folks that's like, oh no, I feel about that. But because I'm in this space, I'm in this mainstream space, I'm on TV, millions of people are gonna watch. I don't want to come off being like a snowflake or being very like reprimand you for saying this thing. So I'm gonna just go along to get along and laugh it off and be cute. But I love you, you know, all of that. So I'm just trying to hit all the sides of the whole situation. I was gonna say before I give my opinion, I think I am kind of giving my opinion on all this. Well, I haven't really given my opinion on it. I'm gonna give it in a second. Now, look, another person who was kind of getting in trouble earlier because we talked about Bob the drag queen, right? When it came to this whole Madonna, Britney, Janet discourse from Lizzo, Bob the drag queen is yet again in the news because he reposted the clip and commented, "Honestly, iconic." So you already know people gonna have a problem with that, but I don't know. I ain't read the comments. I don't know if people took issue with Bob saying honestly iconic. Now another person quipped, "Did Gayle King just say that out loud on national TV? I'm gagged." Literally jaw drop. A third person remarked, "Lord, I'm not even a fan of Gayle King at all, but this shouldn't even be a conversation. Anyone having issues with it needs a mental consultation." So people go around, so people having a problem with Gayle King saying the F word needs a mental consultation. Yeah, if you don't go sit down and play in traffic. A fourth Twitter user added, "Is Gayle King my new queen?" A fifth person wrote, "Icon said, why is it that every time somebody says something with gays immediately jump to icon? They icon, 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 icon." Y'all need to retire that word. First of all, icon is used a lot within the ballroom community, and y'all taking yet another phrase from the ballroom community, and y'all using part of the homosexual vernacular. But anyway, let's move on. Now, there were some people that were offended because we got to play both sides. There were people that were offended by her use of the slur on TV and took turns going in on her. One disgruntled person, or as Lizzo said, dragged her by her ankles. So one person said, "What the hell is wrong with Gayle King?" Another person added, "Wow, I don't love this." And the third person opined, "I don't care if Gayle King is giving dyke down. She still can't say it. Just like I can't call her any slur I want to. LOL. Gay people need to stop excusing homophobia when it comes from women." Another offended Twitter user asked, "So we're okay with people using slurs if they're quoting comedians now? Or does that only apply to gay men?" I'm just saying, I'm reading the room, and a lot of you think this is cute. It's weird how it's always the slurs against us that get labeled as not a big deal. Yeah, because here's another thing. Oh, another person went and said faggotry is crazy. But for the most part, look, I always feel like it's in the context of the way it's used but then again, we've had this conversation where y'all be up in here kikiing and fool-la-la with fish. The tilapia get a little too ahead of themselves, and then they start saying things. Like how people drag Tamar over how she got a little too comfortable with the gays. And it's like, sis, you sitting there trying to lump all the homosexuals under one umbrella and thinking that we all just be out here pop dipping and spinning, smacking our tongues at like we Alyssa Edwards and doing all the stereotypes. So people got on them for that. Or you get those people that sit up there and kiki with you and they like you because you embody all those non-threatening homosexual stereotypes until you say the wrong thing, and then that F word that you were just using to, oh, I want to quote your joke. Now it's being used in a different connotation. So I always say it depends on mood and tone, how the word is used, because I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I'm thinking that could have possibly been what that is. I mean, look, he laughed. I don't know. I'm of two minds about it. I just always feel like, you know what, you could use a word, but it's always in the connotation. And if I don't know you enough to be anti-gay or whatever the case is, you shouldn't use it. But I do feel like, we in sensitive times now, especially in this current administration. People feel how they feel in regards of, people using words, and it's like, yeah, you can't be using that word, sis. And I'm shocked they actually let her say that on national television. But if he's not offended, then that's fine. But people have a right to feel how they feel, as guess is how I feel about it. So I definitely want to hear from you. I don't know. I'm of two minds of the situation. It just depends. Like if I don't know you well enough, no, you don't get to use that word around me, child. Like I've had to go in on people who, where I've told y'all before, there was a white person that had like these biracial friends, and he was around there saying that N word, and I had to light into his ass. Where it's like, oh, you don't get to use that word. I don't give a good goddamn if your friend gave you permission. If you're around me, you do not get to say that. When I'm not in the room, you can say whatever the fuck you want because I'm not there to chastise you. But when you're in my presence, no, sir. And whatever issue they got going on, that's their cross to bear, where they got to deal with their biracial identity. But for me, no, you're not getting to say that word in my presence. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards? Do you think that Gayle was in the wrong for using that word? First of all, didn't there was somebody that had a song called "Faggotry Attention." That was where I first heard damn, I forgot his damn name. He used to first of all, what was his name? Damn, he did the Hey Queen theme song, but Adam Joseph, he had a song called Faggotry Attention. That's where I first heard that word. That was like back in the day. It was like damn near 20 years ago when he came up with that song. And that song was a bop too. But yeah, so that was the first time I heard that word. Now it's just like, I guess maybe that's what Mateo heard the word, and because Adam Joseph was not like this big name, maybe he just coined the term and he made it more mainstream. But yeah, I definitely want to hear from y'all what your overall thoughts on this whole situation is. So let me know in the comments down below.